Moving on to discipline. It's a very important concept, a concept that has significant impact in the overall existence of the organization. Discipline can be considered as a condition in an enterprise in which there is orderliness, in the absence of which there is total chaos and the survival of the organization is in question, in which the members of the enterprise behave sensibly and conduct themselves according to the standards of acceptable behavior as related to the goals of the organization. So there is a common minimum standard which is expected when it comes to discipline in the organizations, which defines the continued success of an organization. It can be disciplinary behavior, and the punishments can be classified as punitive, deterrent and reformative. Certain behaviors should be punished and drastic decisions are taken. Those kind of action can be classified as punitive. Deterrent, that kind of punishment which will make an employee think twice before doing it, which deters him from carrying on a particular kind of behavior. Reformative, it is a positive approach wherein the organization wants to change certain behavior and remedial action is taken. What are the types of disciplinary situations that we encounter in a normal workplace? Excessive absenteeism, repeated poor timekeeping, poor attitudes which reflect on the performance of an individual, which affects the morale of his teammates, his boss and ultimately customer satisfaction. Defective or inadequate work performance, deliberate reduced standards of work, or is it due to some job factors, environment which makes a person reduce his performance level? Is it voluntary or is it inadvertent? This is a disciplinary issue. There is a disciplinary issue. You are facing a live disciplinary problem. What are you going to do? Let's take a look at a model disciplinary procedure. Informal talk. It is always nice to have, before you have a showdown with the employee, an informal talk as to what is the problem all about, whether it can be corrected with a gentle suggestion. So informal talk is mandatory. Oral warning or reprimand. Minor infringement of disciplinary things can be done by oral warning or reprimand, just to say that you are being watched and this is not acceptable. So an oral warning will do the trick for you. Written or official warning is a bit serious when compared to oral warning, because it goes into the record, the personal file, and it stays forever. So it may hamper your future job promotions and your other aspirations. So it is a bit serious. Your infringement and the punishment is recorded. Suspension without pay is a bit more serious, and you are suspended from the company without pay for a particular period of time. The worst case is a dismissal, wherein you are struck off the rolls of a company and you will have to tackle with other legal measures because of your serious misconduct. How to conduct disciplinary interviews? First step is to gather the facts about the alleged infringement. You as an employer and employee representative, say the HR professional, has to collect the facts about the infringement. You have to take the opinion of the line manager on the facts as to what exactly happened in this incident. Determination of the organization's position. What is your organization's position when it comes to tackling these kind of issues? Is it a hard approach or is it a soft approach? How do you generally respond? Do you want to set an example by giving the maximum punishment for a particular type of infringement so that other employees don't repeat it, or is it a lenient one wherein saying, I'm letting you go because of the generosity and the humane approach? Identification of the aims of the interview. What is the purpose of the interview? What is that you're going to achieve by holding this interview with the employee who has done some mistake? So that needs to be identified and established. Notification of the employee's concern. What really made him to commit a mistake and what was the reason behind such behavioral approach? Again, steps in disciplinary interview. Explain the purpose of the interview. Don't scare the employee off. Explain to him what is the need for this interview. Explain the organization's position as to where they stand and what is the tolerance level to such kind of behavior. Give an opportunity to the employee to explain. It's a course of natural justice that all parties should be heard in a dispute. So give him a chance to explain his course of action and why he actually committed that kind of behavior. Improvement targets to be agreed. Once it is identified that some mistake was committed, improvement targets needs to be agreed upon. Explanation of penalties and reasons. What if he is not ready to agree his mistake and is reluctant or he denies? You have to explain the penalties and the reasons behind that penalty. What are the appeals procedure? You pass on a decision, and if he is agreed by it, what is the appeals procedure available for him either by law or within the organization, he should be made aware of it. In the end, summarize the proceedings and record all the facts and the proceeding. So when it comes to a legal framework or it is challenged in a court of law, you need to have all the paperwork ready to tackle this issue.